All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Is it morning? Sure. Okay. Good morning. Hey,
It's
I
morning
really
for
don't know
you.
what time it is.
It's
I am
real
just
morning for you
the
over there.
Vegas floating head. That's all I am. I'm
I,
just a head floating here in Vegas.
I see you, man. I see you. Good to have you, Peter. Thanks for joining us. I know the connection, everything has not been great, but
I've
we've been trying, so that's great.
I've minimized bandwidth this morning, so I can't see any comments. So whatever smart and exciting comments you're all making in the room, I can't see it. So say whatever you want about me. I can't tell. Or on YouTube. So go for it. Take it away. By the way, great viewership in the last couple of days on YouTube. Thank you to all of our YouTube watchers and the thumbs up. We greatly appreciate that. But I don't know why that is, but it's awesome.
Yeah, it sure is. Thank you guys. Really, really does help the channel a bunch. All right, friends, let's get to it. Quick look at our gappers list today. Jared did an amazing engineering the markets today, kind of preparing you for the type of day that we're going to have and the several sessions we're going to be seeing today. Again, just overall information on what to expect on this very interesting day, which is waiting for Jerome Powell. The minutes will be released at 2 p.m. and then at 2:30 he comes on the mic. So we all know what to
Oh
expect.
man.
It's all about, what is he going to surprise us, Peter? Is he going to surprise us? That's the thing. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Friends, on our gap down list, pretty quiet right now. Not so much happening on the green side or the red side of things at the moment. INTC, we'll look at that. There's some news brewing there. We'll look at Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin over the last couple of days has been kind of sliding, so we'll see what's happening here. But nothing really big on these tickers. And this has to be probably one of the closest to one of the smallest lists we have seen in a very long time. Usually this thing is slammed with things. This morning, pretty quiet, which is, again, sometimes kind of nice to be able to have a list that's very manageable. All right, before we get into our gappers list, Peter, latest and greatest, were you able to update the economic calendar? I can't see. Oh, yes, you did. Excellent.
There we go. Come
Is something not working?
on. Hello?
Yep.
I keep losing you. It
Oh,
must be on my end. Obviously.
okay. We're on the
Sorry.
economic calendar. Can you see it or no?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, we hear you
Sorry, I
good.
couldn't hear you at all the last year.
Okay.
So yes, as Carlos said, he stole my thunder there. There's only the only thing of interest, the only thing happening on the economic calendar today is the FOMC interest rate decision release. So it comes out at 2 o'clock, and as we remind you every time, the computers read it, and there's an immediate market reaction. Then Powell hits the mic at 2.
Oh, I think Peter's going into techno mode at the
The
moment.
press conference.
Very, very choppy there, Peter. Yeah, I was ready to bring out the electronic beats and do a remix there. Yeah, Peter, it's coming in very choppy at times. Like you sometimes sounds great, and then you really chop up there. But what Peter was saying, if you got through some of that, is the FOMC minutes and decision coming today, right? So that's going to be that's the only thing happening this morning or this afternoon, or so we'll wait and see what takes place there. Something that Jared mentioned is that we'll have like two opens today, right? We'll have the open at the market open, which is your regular 9:30, and then we'll have another open when this happens if the market does react in any way. Peter, do you want to try maybe do this? Turn off your camera. Just forget the video because that uploading is probably going to hurt your bandwidth, and just do audio, and we might get a real clear audio from you. Just try doing that.
Okay. Any better?
I mean, you sound great. Let's see after you talk for a while if it continues to be
All
good.
right. Tough to tell. Okay. Well, maybe it's better then. We'll see.
Yeah. So far,
You
so
let me know.
good. Yeah, I like that. Much better, right, guys?
Okay.
Yeah, much better. Yeah, the video is
Yeah.
going to help us a
All
lot.
right.
Excellent.
Right. All right.
Peter,
So
anything else you
as we're
wanted to
talking
mention
about, you
there?
got to be
Hmm.
yeah, just be very careful around this time in the afternoon, right? Don't be fooled by it. If you're in a trade, know that when the computers read that decision at 2 o'clock, like we tell you every time, the market can jump. Often it moves back to the original position, and then when Powell starts talking, it's a little slower, right? It might not be till 2:40 or 2:50, or it could be at 2:33. You never know, right? Because it depends on what he says, what his comments are, and probably more importantly, what the questions are that he gets asked. So, of course, we all cross our fingers and pray for another close the effing door moment. But whether that happens or not, just be careful if you're trading around that time in the afternoon. It also means probably this morning, guys, we're probably going to see lower volumes and a little quieter market as people sort of wait for that decision, especially the big money, right? Often sits on the sidelines on these days until that decision rate happens.
Yep, yep, absolutely. Should be a very interesting day. Hopefully, it's an interesting morning. Again, right now looking pretty quiet. All right, friends, let's get to our list here. So right now, let's start with our gap up. We're gonna Control A, Control X, and remove our list from yesterday. We'll look at TGL. So TGL is Treasure Global, and these guys are up 54%, 5 million shares traded. Hard to borrow, so no shares for short here. I'm showing 49 million on the flow, so lower price, but not really low flow, just borderline there, that 50 million mark that we like to be above. Peter, any news on Treasure Global this morning?
Uh, well, hold on. Trying. I'm working real slow here today. Never heard of
No
them.
worries.
Software company, relatively low float. Um, they're an AI play. Why am I not surprised? Um,
What's new?
Yeah, I don't really see any news though. I mean, there was some news a week and a half ago. Keep in mind in February, oh my God, whatever the news is, in February, they executed a 1 for 70. Yes, that is not, you didn't mishear me. 1 for 70 reverse split. So that means even at a current, what is it? Let's call it $7 price valuation. In February, a month ago, a little less than a month ago, they were trading at like 10 cents. So
Yeah, yeah,
whatever you decide to do with this, be super careful.
yeah. Speaking of splits, one that's having a major split this morning is well, they announced it. Is Chipotle? They're going to 50 to 1, but they're a 2,900 stock. What's
Yeah.
their ticker?
Wow.
CHP.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing they announced that 50 to 1.
C-
Uh, see, I forget the
CMG. Yeah,
CMG.
yeah.
Yep,
They've been hard to trade for a really, really long time. So that's
yeah,
actually good news, Carlos. I mean,
yeah. For us, yeah,
they yeah, because it may mean that it puts them into play, which could be a little fun. Chipotle hasn't been really one that's been tradable because volume's been pretty low. But 50 for 1 will increase the float volume, of course. Um, well, yeah, and increase the float volume
yeah,
and hopefully make it more attractive to everybody, especially retail traders that may want to play it. So I'm just looking to see, when does this happen?
yeah. I
Um,
didn't hear the date on it. I know it was announced. I'm not sure the actual execution of it.
June?
Um,
No. Oh, it has to be. Sorry, it has to go to a final vote in June with their shareholders. And so there's no date set for that. But if that's June, that means it's probably not happening before the end of June or sometime in July,
yeah, yeah.
earliest.
Gapping up this morning 5.4, but it's not hitting our list, guys, because again, there's just no volume. So when this thing actually splits 50 to 1, it should, like you said, it should be more attractive. We'll come back to it. I don't see any play here today. Just doesn't look that good. One that's been on our list that we're getting very familiar with, and not in a good way, is HOLO. This is on here again, Micro Cloud Hologram. They're up 13.1 at 1.2 million shares traded. Again, just I don't like the way it trades. I don't like the up and downs on this. I don't like the pre-market or the intraday action on it. So, Peter, I'm not sure there's any news worth watching. I'm just gonna dismiss this and move to something else.
I feel like all my news here is a week behind because once again I see nothing in the last week that
Yeah.
yeah of news releases at all. So whatever's moving it, it's not news related. And as you said, Carlos, I mean look at sort of the daily volume on Hollow. It's come right back down off the
Yeah.
peak. So I think that yeah you want to be careful with this one. It might be on our list. Doesn't look like it's that great. Although out there, I can't see your comments as I mentioned, but if it trades well, let everyone else know if you've traded it. Maybe there's some opportunity in it, but I've been a little out of touch. I do notice it's on SSR, which means it's going to be it's not tradable to the short side, so that makes only long plays viable. And usually those are ones that I avoid because it just means that you can have less participants active in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I do see that. Someone commented here in our chat. Why is PDD going in and out of the gappers list? Not sure. They got the volume above 400. Oh no, heart wrong one. PDD. Maybe they. Yeah, they're up 17%. They got 3.6 million, but I did see it come off and it came back. So it should be on. It is in play here, guys. Look at the pop this morning, up 17%, 3.6. Now I haven't heard the news on this one, Peter. What is driving this today?
PDD, yeah, it is odd that it's moving in and off our list. They so they're owned by a company called Temu. I never know if I say that right. TEMU. And they had a great quarter. They posted earnings and beat their earnings quite handily. So the expectation now, of course, is upbeat that the Chinese e-commerce market, which has been struggling lately with the news of with the economic situation in China being depressed, that it's recovering and there might be some good upside opportunities. So that's what's got PDD moving this morning. But I don't know.
Is it
Yeah,
Temu? Is
it's
is this
always
the
tough on
is
these.
this the TEMU website? Oh yeah, this thing. Their advertisings are everywhere, man. Everywhere I look
Oh yeah,
online. Oh, you haven't seen them yet? They're everywhere.
no, I
Instagram, X. They're so aggressive with their advertising. It's insane.
really.
Um, yeah, I didn't know
I'm
PDD
I'm
was
afraid to look it up then because I might get onto their list. So I don't
well.
want to.
Look it up now before the government shuts it down or wants Temu to be a U.S. company, right? That's their thing now. Government wants to own everything that's Chinese. So look it up now before you're able to not see this website. So there it is, friends. Yeah,
This.
this it's all over the place, man. I see ads every single
Wow.
day.
I
Um,
think you've been targeted, Carlos.
I have been targeted, so that's what happens. But yeah, oh, I did not know that. So I learned something new there about PDD. Crushing it this morning with their earnings in play, man. I'm gonna put this one on the list. Looks good.
Okay, there you go.
Mighty Mouse says,
Found
"Yeah, they
something you like.
target young people like crazy." Yeah, so they messed up with my targeting ad there. That's not gonna work.
Oh, you're still just a young
Uh,
pup there, Carlos.
somebody messed up there. All right, let's take a look here. So Pixie is another one that's on our list. This one, by the way, we've been seeing quite a bit of it, and again, I just don't like the way it's been trained. The last couple of days has been in play. You can see here, started on Monday, continued yesterday, and again back on our gap up list. It is just horrible. I mean, this is pure garbage truck, which I'm going to throw in there for you guys. I don't like it at all, Peter. I don't know if we should spend even a second on it.
No, I mean, I'll spend a moment on it. Just they did release news yesterday that they had received $100 million in commercial financing, so new finance. So basically, it's a secondary offering. They're going to issue it at the market though, which is good because that makes it less impactful and dilutive to their current shareholders. But this is a low float, right? I see less than 1 million shares currently. So yeah, yeah, I would agree. Garbage truck it. It doesn't look that great.
Yeah, yeah. Horrible. We'll skip on it. Let's head over to Riot is on the gap up list this morning, and we know Bitcoin has been seriously in play over the last couple of days. So Riot is on here. Let's take a look at what Mara and some other ones are doing. So Mara slightly up 1.4, not doing a whole lot. Coin has been moving pretty decent over the last couple of days here. Today was in the red, now kind of flat for the most part. So I'll keep an eye maybe on Coin as a possible
Wow.
in Mara. We'll see what takes place there as Bitcoin. We'll take a look at Bitcoin here and see if there's any movement to their stock. Here's Bitcoin BTC. Just a little bit of a bounce back, guys, from the slide off 74 down to 62. Again, it seems like a lot, and people are saying, "Oh, it's going to come back down," but look at the move, guys. It's not a big pullback compared to the move that we've
Yeah.
seen, right? So we got to be careful thinking this thing is weak. Just got to see what the market has for
Yeah,
it.
I was just looking at that. It has come down, and but as you say, Carlos, so you got to look at it in the overall strength of the move. I mean, this is actually is a pretty normal retracement for a
Right.
stock that is gunning upwards. You get a couple of days of downward movement. Yeah, probably nothing to worry about. I mean, we all know Bitcoin could regain the $10,000 difference that it lost over the last 5 days in the evening. Right, we could wake up tomorrow and it'll be back up. And I say that specifically because Bitcoin typically moves more overnight than it does during the day. So, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
just be patient.
Exactly. So I got Coin and Mara here, guys. They both have decent volume, especially Mara. Coin not so much, only 275,000. But yeah, we'll keep them both on the secondary for now. INTC, another one that has great news today, and they're getting a chunk of money from our good old government here. 2.7 up this morning, 2.2 million shares traded. And the number was wild. It was like a couple of billions they're getting to expand manufacturing here. So how that's going to trade 8 billion. Yeah, Ralph said that's quite a bit. How
Yeah.
well that's going to
Well,
trade, I'm not sure.
yeah, it's actually it's almost 20 billion, right? 8.5 billion in
Now,
grants,
yeah.
and
Mhm.
then another 11 billion in loans that I don't think they need. But the loans are always good because government loan terms are usually pretty favorable towards organizations. So, but that's not. I mean, we have to keep in mind this is not super news. My expectation is this move may be short lived on that because we sort of had known about it, if not the number. We knew Intel was likely to take advantage of this back. I can't even remember, Carlos, but it's felt like a couple months ago. Uh, it was a while back that we've been talking about this. Now we just know the number, right? So good move, but Intel is one of those that again I always get disappointed when I watch it after the open. I'm thinking today's the day, and it always ends up that like an AMD or an Nvidia still trade better.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. Their pre-market this morning does look good, um, but you're right. When we see other stocks that trade better at times, I will have it on my list today since there's not that much to watch on this list. But again, I'll be patient with it in case there's nothing that comes really out of it. TME this morning. So TME right now it is up 251,000 shares traded. Don't really like the pre-market action. Just barely making our gap up list here. I don't think it's really in play, right? Just got over that 2%, got over that 200,000 shares traded. If you guys remember now, just a reminder, we did move our list here to 200,000 as the minimum as far as volume. So we're no longer using 100,000, right? So if you have a list where you're seeing a ticker there that's not here, it could be because of that move, right? Which has been so far so good. So we'll keep it at that.
Right.
Um, Anything on
And
TME?
they do have news in that they also had earnings after the close yesterday, or at least before the open today, I should say. And they did not. They had a good quarter, another good quarter, same like PDD. So that's why we're seeing the movement. Probably PDD feels like is the one to watch of the two if you're looking to watch some of the Chinese stocks and see if they move.
Let's take a look here. Jan is asking, does this get recorded? Yeah, it's going to be available on YouTube. You can always go back and look at any pre-market show that we've done in the past. We keep them up there. So if you want to take a look at that. All right, that covers our gap up list. Let's see what's gapping down this morning. NDAQ. And if we look at NDAQ, we are down 4%, 961,000 shares traded. Had a big day yesterday, looks like over from 60 to 62, and then just gapping right back down this morning. Typically not a stock that we look at. The float on this is actually 300. I'm showing 352. Let's get that confirmed. But volume extremely light, 5.3 million yesterday with that big move. You take 5.3 million, you spread it out in a matter of a couple of hours, and you are not going to get, what's the volume here? 2,000
Yeah.
shares per candle. I mean, that's just brutal. I don't know how you would trade that. What is this, by the way? This is it
This
says
is the
Nasdaq, but what is
Nasdaq.
this?
Nasdaq is a company. This is their stock. It's always ironic when the stock, what do I call it? The stock company. Anyways,
That's
when they
just
don't trade
weird.
well.
I didn't know they
Yeah,
even
like it's
had
sort of
that.
like IB, Interactive Brokers. Stock
Yeah,
IBKR is their ticker.
yeah.
Doesn't typically trade well. So. Um,
Yeah, brutal.
the, IBKR. Anyways, but they had news. Nasdaq had news that their largest shareholder, the Bourse Dubai, who owns currently about 15% of the stock, is going to sell a third of that ownership, which is about worth 1.6 billion at current market prices. So they've announced that they're going to sort of divest of a significant portion, especially being the largest single shareholder in the Nasdaq, which was interesting. I didn't realize the Dubai Bank was the biggest shareholder in Nasdaq, but all right, there you go. But and it raises questions, of course, as to why are they moving out at this point. But they didn't really make much of a statement other than to say that they're prepared to enter to an 18-month agreement to lock up the remainder of their shares, because as long as they stay over that 10% threshold, they get to have a designated nominee on the board of directors, which is something that we believe that they would like to retain. Um, so anyway, so that's the news. That, whenever a major investor, especially your largest investor, decides to lower their stake significantly, it'll take any company down, even the Nasdaq stock market company itself.
Yeah, yeah, very, 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 very interesting. They're probably afraid the government wants to buy them out. Who knows? It's weird. All right, let's see what's happening here. Sound. Let's look at sound here. Again, SoundHound on our list every single day. I don't really like to trade this, so I'm gonna just stay away from it. Peter, anything you like on this morning?
There's some, always little news about AI. Obviously, our good buddy SoundHound, big in AI. I was reading, well, the only thing I was reading before we got on was an article about the healthcare market. That it's interesting. It's expected the AI market in healthcare to reach 120, so 148 billion, I think was the number they were estimating by 2029. I don't, I guess I never thought about AI in healthcare. I don't know what the big opportunity would be there and where the money would be spent on AI. I mean, are we automating maybe remote surgeries, or making healthcare decisions? I really don't know, but I just thought that was interesting, and I'm just assuming that SoundHound would have moved up on the big numbers in that market. But I think SoundHound is, these days, it's just sort of generally in play, and it's just going to move around. If anybody trades it out there, maybe let us know. Again, I can't see the comments, but if you like trading it, because when I had watched it last a week ago, I wasn't liking the price action. I just
Hmm.
found the spread a little high for the stock price. I mean, it is only an $8 stock. It was $8 to $10 at the time when I was watching it, but and the spread seemed a little choppy. So I noticed it's on hard to borrow this morning, which is another reason to be cautious with it.
Yeah. Some of the comments in the room is like, I have heard of AI reading scans, and a lot of you guys saying automated reading of MRI scans, CAT scans, and X-rays. So a lot of you guys probably have read into
Hmm.
some of that reading. So yeah, that could be good. Um,
Okay.
all right, so that's
All right.
SoundHound there. XBEV on our list, gapping down this morning. We are down 3%, 1.7 million shares are traded. This is a nice drop for them, some good volume. So not sure what's driving it, but I'm gonna add it to the list. Their daily lately has been a little bit interesting. You can see that it has gapped up twice here, Monday and Tuesday. Both days have sold off. Today we're actually gapping down. So yeah, gonna should be fun. Volume is there. Pre-market action is probably one of the most active we've seen in a while, at least that I noticed. So I definitely like this one today. Um, all right. And then last but not least, Peter, anything on this one before I jump to the next one?
Not on that one, no.
All right. We'll look at the next one, SMCI, which again our AI plays here. This is down 2.2, 444,000 shares traded, but definitely in play like a lot of the tech companies have been. But I'm going to be watching the usual ones that we've been keeping a track of. That's going to be Nvidia. It's going to be AMD as a secondary one there, and I think these two have been pretty decent for the most part. So that makes up our list, guys. Peter, anything that you have on deck this morning that you'll be watching?
I was just thinking that. with the black screen, Carlos. We got to get you. You had all those pictures you were flashing the other day of me. You got to get one of those pictures up there where maybe you can do like a Monty Python's flying circus thing where you can just move the jaw up and down, sort of in a very fake way.
Yeah,
Put
yeah,
that
we,
in
we
there
could
so that people don't miss me too much.
we could
But
definitely get one of your
of course,
pictures
I am
up
here
there.
in Vegas. I am just a floating head. I can give you that picture here for a second.
Yeah, hold it there. We'll get a screenshot. We got a whole feature of screenshots for Peter. There you are.
Hold
We
on.
got you good. Awesome. Um,
I'll stare right at you. All right. I'll turn that off again so we
yeah,
don't
so
have
we
the
get good.
bandwidth issues.
Absolutely.
Um, One that's popping on and off our list that I did want to mention, SMCI. SMCI, I think before I got cut off yesterday, we were talking about the fact that they had taken advantage of their stock price skyrocket and announced a secondary offering. They pulled back on that. Look at yesterday's price action, how they dropped and held lower. They said that they were going to delay the issuance of that secondary uh, price offering, which may allow for a recovery, but I'm not sure people will be fooled. If they haven't called it off, they've just delayed it. So uh, SMCI, if it's something that you like to trade, maybe will be in play today. The volumes have started to retreat from the highs, of course, that we had back, at the end of February. But we'll, yeah, I don't know. I've never traded it yet.
yeah,
Haven't really liked it, but it's worth maybe keeping an eye on just to see what happens.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have it here on my secondary. Usually I end up going with AMD or Nvidia when the whole tech thing is moving.
Mhm.
So, but again, worth watching. All right, friends, let's see what you guys like this morning. Starting in our chat here, BA. Yeah, BA just continues with the bad news. Their CEO mentioned they're going to be missing a lot more deliveries, and they also gave a heads up their quarter's not looking so hot as far as the numbers. So that came out either last night or this morning, but it's just more bad news on BA. They're down 1.8. They just barely missed our gap down list, but I think it'll be worth watching. How much is going to trade here? I don't know. I mean, we're getting at some really low levels. We've been here a couple of weeks back. This is when in October we had the nice little bounce that went all the way to 265. The world was good. And then pieces started falling apart from the planes. And then this is where we're at now, 177. So it's not a good
So
thing for them.
So get here, I finally ended up flying American Airlines, right, on my saga to get to Vegas,
Mm.
and I did notice at the beginning of both flights that it felt very distinct to me. Maybe I was just hypersensitive to it. That they were saying, "Welcome. Today we're flying an A380." It was an A380 both times, but an A380, aircraft, and they just seemed to be take a particular point of mentioning the aircraft and maybe the subtle, this is not a Boeing aircraft. I don't know if that's what they were doing or not, but I sort of chuckled to myself about it because I thought that was interesting that maybe they were just saying, don't worry, parts don't
No.
fly off these planes. We're good.
No, they always do that. Now, what they might not be
Okay.
doing now, if it's a Boeing, I would not announce that anymore.
Right. Maybe that's
You're on a
the,
plane
maybe
with
that's
wings and engines. I wouldn't say you're on a Boeing 737 Max. No, 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 no. I don't want. Don't tell me.
Look, all that being said, guy, like I said before, I will, I would still get on a Boeing missing a
Yeah, yeah.
door when I got on the plane before I get on one of those self-driving helicopter taxis that you can get in Dubai and China right now. So yeah,
You
that's
could tell John is
pretty
an
bad.
aviation enthusiast because I thought the same thing, John. There's no way you got on an 380. That is a double
Oh
decker,
no,
massive plane, Peter.
oh,
That thing flies
I'm
from
pretty
like
sure
here
that's
to
what they
here,
said.
here to Europe.
No,
I doubt. No, no way. No way.
okay,
Let me show you
well,
this thing.
that,
It's like a whale on freaking on land.
uh,
It is so
well, then
massive.
it was.
Look at this thing.
What's another model number? I could have sworn that's what they said,
So
but
double decker. It's like one of the biggest planes out there. Could try to compete with the 747, but had a very short lived, I would
is
say.
it? All right.
Yeah,
Well, it
but it
was
was the
definitely an
Airbus.
Airbus,
That's
whatever it
the
was I
important
was
thing. It was the
flying.
Airbus, and
It was
yeah,
an
man. If
Airbus something.
if it's a 737, you don't want to be you don't want to be announcing that. But no, Peter, I'm glad you caught that. But yeah, a lot of airlines do say that. Um, but interesting. All right, so BA, I have it on a secondary list, guys. How well it's going to
Must
trade, I don't
must
know.
be an A300 then. Sorry, my
A3,
bad. Apparently,
A,
apparently that's what they fly. A300s. All
yeah,
right.
yeah. All right.
Maybe I just got excited because I knew the A380 name. I just didn't know why. So that's what my brain said.
Yeah, probably
Uh,
was one of the A320s, A321. Who knows? But
I
nevertheless,
don't,
man, it was not a
whatever it
Boeing.
was.
It was not a
It
Boeing.
was definitely not a Boeing. They made that clear.
Yeah. All right, friends. Let's take a look here. BA on the list here. What else we have over on our chats here, both YouTube. We're looking at both of the chats at the moment. Guys, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up. It really does help quite a bit to get us to our goal of 160 every day. We really, really appreciate it. We've been crushing that for a while now. But thank you so much for that. All right, so we looked at BA. Anything else, guys? Any news out there we might have missed? I think we kind of cover most of it. XPEV is we have on deck. That's good. BA we do have over on YouTube. Mara I do have as well. So thank you, Puppet Master. It does look interesting. I agree. I do like that one. Omega is giving us what is this? ALAB is gonna IPO. Peter will have that if it's we have something scheduled. But
Hmm.
ALAB. Well, if it's gonna IPO, I'm not gonna see it here. But an AI ticker, Omega. So we'll see where that goes.
Sarah
Um,
Lab.
yeah.
Yeah. You think they're supposed to IPO? Hold on a second.
Yeah, I
Let's
think he
find it.
mentioned
I
they're
haven't
supposed
looked
to
at IPOs
IPO.
in a while.
Yeah, not sure if today or whenever. One that we're waiting for is Reddick. Has Reddick announced when they're going to IPO? That's going to be a big one. Probably the most anticipated for a while. Um, so we'll see when that comes out. While you look for that Tesla, guys. Yeah, Tesla's one to look at. Yesterday,
Oh,
got some
I
volume. It
do.
usually does. I'll add it to my list here. We got PDD, Intel, XPF, and Nvidia, and I'll add Tesla because we got the space for it. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting, especially at 2 p.m. This will be a good
Uh,
one.
20th. Yeah, yeah. Astera Labs, ALAB. It is supposed to come out today. So
Okay,
um,
let's put it
we'll see.
here.
Yeah, looks like it's all poised and ready to be released today. So
Okay.
not as big of an offering as you'd think. It's only worth an estimated 774 million current market prices. So strike price is 32 to $34. So whenever that opens today, guys, if you're watching it, 32 to 34 is a key number, right? So if it opens lower than that or goes lower than that, right, that's a bad sign. Something you might want to avoid. If for all of our members in the room, by the way, don't forget to check out all of the documents we have in the room drive, as we call it, little file folder you can see at the top of the room is about IPO trading rules. In there, you can talk. It talks about what I look for in a good stock to trade on an IPO and how to go about it. So, a little shortcut if you wanted to think about trading it, but you got to be careful in these ones because lately we haven't had a lot of good ones. Tend to sell off at the open instead of. It's not the good old days when you can almost trust any IPO to shoot up no matter what happened in the next few days. It would shoot up at the open. Those days are well behind us at this point.
Yeah, yeah. Um, all right, excellent, guys. I think we did look at everything. Dell, someone did mention it here. Christopher mentioned Dell over in our YouTube chat. It's not doing a whole lot. I think it's pretty quiet for the most part. We have to wait for the market to open, see how it goes. It had the big gap up here, has sold off since then. Now down to 110, and again, just not really in play. Volume is completely out of it for the most part. All right, let's stop here, friends. Yeah, so for those
Uh,
asking, yeah, if you haven't heard it, 2 p.m. we have the Fed interest rates, the FOMC minutes come out. Then around 2:30, Powell takes the mic. So we'll update you guys before we get off as well, in case anybody's joining late.
yeah.
All right, Peter, are you able to do the announcements? Can you see them?
Yeah, I can see what you're doing, so that should
Oh,
be
you can see
fine.
what I'm
I did
doing.
want to
Okay.
mention one other one.
Hmm.
Tesla. It might be worth keeping an eye. A lot of talk in Tesla about their price increases, pretty much globally now. They sort of announced that they're going to be increasing their car prices. Yeah, as we know, Tesla's been sliding for a couple of weeks now, and they seem to have stabilized. Will what will happen with the price? I don't know, but I think that Tesla. I haven't again been watching the market in the last few days, but feels like it's one that's always has a little bit of interest in it and a little bit of fun, so might be worth keeping on your list.
All right, awesome. All right, let's go to announcements. But first, let me block this clown over here in our YouTube chat. How do I do
I
this? There we go.
Yeah, and let me look it up. What is
Excellent.
It's Wednesday. Okay, I had to look up what day it is. I have no idea.
You're in Vegas. You're not supposed to know what day it is. That's
It's
perfectly fine.
every day looks the same, pretty much. Yes, it's
That sounds right.
but it is a Psychology Wednesday, and tonight we have Randy Howell who's going to be talking about how to win by developing essential losing skill set, which, as anybody who's traded for a period of time understands, you really have to master how you lose. Losing is inevitable, right? You can't be a trader without losing pretty much on a daily basis, and you need to understand how to manage the emotions through that, whether it's a good loss or a bad loss, a challenging one or one that you sort of half expected. Usually it's the losses that you least expect, of course, that cause you the most trouble, but how do you be a good loser? There's books written about this. Randy Howe is going to delve into this and talk about it at 8 o'clock tonight for all of our elite members. So join us in the webinar room for that one. Next week, Mike Baer, who's with me here in Vegas as we're at this conference, and he's receiving an award for, by the way, our family of companies we're very proud of, which was awesome and good for him for being able to do that. He'll be presenting next week on a trader's journey to embracing a process-oriented mindset. We talk about this all the time, right? Consistency, stable trading is the way to be successful over the long term. So, but how do you develop the mindset to enable that? That will be what he'll be talking about next Wednesday, March the 27th at 8 o'clock. That's our Wednesday psychology lineup. If you want information on the markets, hopefully you can still hear me. And tradingterminal.com is the place to go. Visit tradingterminal.com for all of your trading needs. And if you want to join us here at Bearable Traders, we love to have you. We have a number of membership options, from our intro offer, which is a great way to get oriented and just get started and see if this is the community for you and the place you want to spend your time and money trading. And we understand that those decisions are critical. So, make the right one and take your time doing it. Maybe you can take advantage of that intro offer. For listening to us, you always get a $24 discounted price. Pre-market 24, run that all together. Pre-market 24 is what you need to put in to get that discounted price. You can only do that one time. Then you need to pick a basic or elite monthly package. We do not automatically, roll you over into one of those. It's your choice as to whether you'd like to continue with us, and we always hope you do. And if you do, then you may be ready to move to the Elite Annual, which is your best deal and the way you can get a discounted rate for the entire next year. So hopefully we'll see you in the Bearable Trading Room at sometime soon. I actually can't wait to get back to some trading, because I was hoping to do some more here, but it is Vegas, which I guess I should know. Not well. Plus, I'm still annoyed about my whole travel problem. So, and I may not be getting home when I expect. So, I have no idea what's going to happen. Murphy's Law says, though, it's the home flight that will work well in this case, because I don't really care if I get home on time. I could care less. If I get stranded here in Vegas, that would be okay. But that one's probably going to work flawlessly. So,
Oh yeah, yeah,
anyways,
perfect, perfect.
it's when you
Um,
don't care, right, that things work well. It's when you care deeply that it usually all goes to hell in a handbasket. So,
Absolutely. Um, all right, friends, let's take a look here on what's going on. Oh, there's Mike's picture. Let's take a look at this. So here's Mike receiving this award over in Vegas.
there you go.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So remind us, what is the award for again, Peters? For those that don't know.
So it was specifically given to us. It's great that he had this opportunity. So it was for innovation in a tech company, and I've got some pictures here too that due to bandwidth I won't share, but it was for sort of leadership in our field. So and yeah, we're sort of very happy to have received that at this CXO conference here in Vegas, as you can see, going on through today, midday today.
All right, awesome, awesome. Good to see that. All right, friends, let's get to our list here this morning. We don't have a lot, but I think it'll be a great day to see what to expect. PDD just straight crushing it here with Temu, up 17.2 this morning, 4.1 million shares trade. That's going to be heavily in play. It's going to be one of my favorites today. INTC's got some movements, got some volume. So that's good. We got XBEV continues to drop here, guys. So trying to break the low of the pre-market now. Let's see what it can do there. Good volume this morning. Nvidia, not really. Actually, it's got some good volume, but pretty much flat as far as movement. And then we do have Tesla as well, which again, very, very low volume compared to what we're used to seeing out of Tesla. But worth watching either way. All right, let's start with PDD. High of the pre-market this morning. We have 151 at 25, so we'll slam one level there. I'm going to look at the daily and go back to the left here. We are reaching some recent resistance in January. That's going to be over at 152.91, so we're just slightly below that. Have we been higher on this? I'm sure we have. Okay, here's the weekly going back to 2020 looks like 2021, maybe the early days there. But on the weekly, I'm just going to pick off some areas where it could be interesting. It's going to be 158.42 and then a very big level over at 165.81 off the weekly going back 2 years there, 2 3 years. Going back to our daily towards the bottom now, we do have the big gap up. Our low of the pre-market all the way down by the previous day close and the highs and lows of the last two trading days. So we're going to take off levels from just December and January. If you look in here on this daily, some very clean levels like 146.62 is one of them. We have another one over at 142.59, very clear daily level. And then we can't miss this one. This is a real nice one because you can see here you got a lot of support happening there, resistance here, and more resistance here, change in direction, which is really nice. That's 138.20. So we definitely want to have that there this morning. Some of these levels that we picked off are, you can see they're playing nice with our pre-market action. This one we just blew right by that, so no action there. But for the most part, 146.61, 145.59, doing pretty good as far as movement in our pre-market action so far this morning. So PDD looks good, tons of volume, guys, 4.2. That is real nice. Intel has good news. Again, some money coming their way, some now, some in loans, but nevertheless, it's good news for them. 44.05 is the high of the pre-market, kind of coming off of that right now, only up 2.4 at the moment and dropping. So more towards the bottom, we do have the highs and lows of the last two trading days. Right where the price action is at, if you look at the daily, we do have some areas of support and resistance. So I'm going to slam a level as well. That's going to be 43 on the dot. If you look at this line here, a lot happening there. Tons of days closing, opening right on this line. So I think it's worth noting. And then towards the bottom, the highs and lows for the last two trading days plus the previous day close pretty much got you covered on Intel. So let's see where that goes. XPEV increased volume yesterday. How did it trade yesterday, by the way? Let's go back here. It actually had again, I usually avoid XPEV because it's just been weird, but it really had a nice drop here, good recovery. I mean, that's not a bad open. That's not a bad market open at all. So some good opportunities there. Today they're starting with a lot more volume in the pre-market, so that's nice. Almost 2 million shares traded. This time gapping down. So I think it's worth having on our list today. We're going to remove our highs and lows that we marked, our levels that we marked before. We'll do some fresh ones. Over at 1035 is your higher the pre-market right now. I am going to keep this 958 here. That was our recent area support. So I'll keep that there. That might mean something. I mean, if you look at the daily, we do see some days slamming into that, opening and closing right around that area. So I think that's worth keeping on there. Our new pre-market low is just below it by a couple of cents. So let's see if this is going to run any further. We'll do a new pre-market low if we get lower. Where I do see another area where we can get to is that 944 area. So let's see what happens there. And then below that, the low from yesterday. And just in case we're having a really bad day here, 904 is another great level off the daily. Towards the top, highs and lows got you covered. Not a whole lot that you need to add up there. Heading over to NVIDIA, I'm going to remove the lows from yesterday. We're just smack in the middle of our highs and lows of the last two trading days. Like we're right on it. The previous day close is there. We're pretty much flat today. We went up, we went down, we went up. We just coming right back to that 888.94. So again, just not a whole lot of movement. I don't think there's much you need to do here besides the highs and lows of the pre-market. So 898 towards the top, and then towards the bottom, you're looking at 890.36. And once you do that, actually 887.52. Once you do that, I think you are actually no, the pre-market low is down here, I believe. Actually, no, it's here. I got it right. Yep, 887.54 for Nvidia. Once you do that, you're set, guys. Highs and lows surrounding the price action. Let's take a look at Tesla. Another one that, again, not a lot of movement right now, so pretty much flat. And very light volume. Like the volume is extremely light. I have it here because it's one to watch, right? Especially sitting down here at 170, it has dropped so much. Any indication of positive news, this can actually do something, especially maybe not at the open, but later today after Powell does his thing. I think this could be one to watch. Right, it's a very sensitive interest rate type stock, so good to watch. Highs and lows are marked. Once you do that, you're pretty much taken care of here. Nothing else you need to do. Yeah, Oscar, we did look at I was gonna say SEMA, but that's SMG. That's a Chipotle. So we did look at this one, and again, they got the great news. They're gonna be splitting 50 to 1, which will be nice. Will bring this price way down. It won't be a mortgage payment anymore. So it'll bring this price way down, and it'll probably be more tradable. It's gonna get more volume, that's for sure, right? So more volume action is gonna come in, and hopefully that this could be a stock that we can day trade. Right now, the volume is non-existent, man. 22,000 shares traded. Yeah, 50 to 1 looking to happen sometime. At least the board is going to be voting on that in June, and then we'll see. I don't see why they will not agree to it. More transactions, more just more people touching the stock is a good thing for them. So I do see that going through, and we'll see how it goes. But right now, I don't even with the news, this is not going to be in place. Just it gets no attention. 22,000 shares trade. Nobody wants to touch this right now. It is ugly, so we'll leave it alone. All right, friends, that is our list. Let's take a look at our moderators list this morning. So I'm going to bring this over. As we are doing this, guys, make sure you are able to, if you can, slam that thumbs up over on YouTube. It does help us out a ton. Today we're sitting at 143, 144. I just put that thumbs up myself. And we'd love to get to 160. That is our goal. And again, we've been smashing that every single week. Thanks to you guys. All right. Jared, again, an amazing show this morning. Engineering the Market starts at 8:30 every morning. So if you're able to make it, that's in our chat room. Make sure you join for that. Some really good information there. Thor looking at Apple and AMD futures as well. You do have Jared looking at BA, GIS, and AMD. Secondary straddles for the day or / tomorrow on index. Racilla will be looking at AMD and Mara. Jared also adding Mara to the list this morning. And Megan, NVIDIA and Tesla. Brian, AMD, NVIDIA, PDD, Intel, and BA. So pretty much look at the same stuff here, guys, this morning. I think it's going to be an amazing day. And I agree. Mara's got great volume. I might move this up. Do we have time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's move Mara up. I do like the volume they have this morning, and I think it's Bitcoin. You have to keep an eye on it. It's been so volatile. It's been very fun. So let's move Mara up. Quick levels on it. Towards the bottom, you're set. Highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. I am going to add the low of the pre-market over at 1845, and then the highs where we're struggling here at the moment at 1972. Above that, the highs from 2 days ago. Plus, we're going to add 2088. And right in here, guys, we also have 22-ish, 2217 for Mara as well. Friends, that covers it. Peter, are you still around? Peter went back to bed, or he is gambling somewhere in Vegas. Friends, take care. Have an amazing trading day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Reminder, at 2 p.m. today, the FOMC minutes come out. 2:30, Jerome Powell takes the mic. Be careful if you're in any positions, and it's going to be like a 2-day opening today, so it should be a lot of fun. Oh, here's Peter's list. He is watching Nothing From Me, Vegas Baby, and then IPOs for today, ALAB, as we spoke about earlier, and then a couple of more there he is going to be looking out for. So excellent. Guys, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.